Hey everyone! Good afternoon, everyone. Apologies again for the delay, but we're glad we're having another episode of Nomads Media. Welcome to Nomads Media, of course, the lifestyle media for dreamers and visionaries. As you know, we've created Nomads to provide resources and inspiration for entrepreneurs, creators, and marketers who aspire to create and thrive. Of course, Nomads Media is produced by Video Gaga, your marketing platform. And this is your host. I'm Carlo Velasco of Nomads Media and Video Gaga. We've got a very special live stream episode today. As you've seen on our, sorry, my voice. But as you've seen in our posts on social media, we'll be talking about the path to influence and success, which is, of course, very important, right, to us dreamers and to our visionaries out there. Now we'll discuss from the perspective of an entertainer and entrepreneur. Let's talk about the ingredients that build influence and success, your career growth, genuinely affecting people, affecting communities, the role of social media, of course, and technology, and for entrepreneurs out there, investing your time and money in business. Now, joining us is a very special guest, you know already. I'm quite excited because I haven't seen this guy in person for years. Of course, I'm talking about one of my favorite radio and event hosts, Sam YG. He's one of the most prominent radio hosts in the Philippines, spanning 20 years. He'll correct me if I'm wrong. 20 years as the former co-host of the popular show Boys Night Out on Magic 89.9 in the Philippines. He's also known for being a natural comedian with his hilarious punchlines and his alter egos like Shivaker, which made it to the mainstream TV when he became a co-host on Eat Bulaga, one of the biggest shows in the Philippines, known for their record-breaking trends worldwide. Sam is also probably one of the most prominent Indian Filipinos representing the Indian community in the Philippines. So, it's very important to represent, right, your community. And that's what we're all about here at Nomads. Now let's bring him in, the guru himself, Sam YG. Hey, Sam.
Papi Carlo, hello. Good afternoon.
Hey, Sam. How are
There
you?
we go. All
Welcome to
right,
Nomads
fantastic.
Media.
Thank you for having me. Is the camera cutting out or something? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, it
Hmm.
is. It is.
Let's try to solve that. But while that
Yeah,
is
go ahead. Go
happening,
ahead.
how are you doing?
Go ahead.
I haven't seen you in such a long time. Ano na balita?
Yes, because I'm exactly. It's been a long time. Because I'm mainly based in Madrid. As you know,
Wow.
we have our agency. Yeah, because we have an agency there, right? In
Hmm.
Taguig, in Manila.
Yeah.
And about 6 years ago, we decided to put up another one here in Madrid. So I'm mainly based here, but hopefully I will see you all there very soon in
You
Manila.
know what? Funny thing, I should have known. I should have known that, no, because I was just in Madrid with my wife a few months ago. No,
Oh,
I didn't know you were
wow.
already based there. But I mean, this is just a side story. But for people who are watching right now, me and Carl we haven't seen each other for a long time, but we used to see each other a lot of times in events,
Yeah,
gigs,
events. Yeah,
launches,
of course, because I started
products,
out
stuff.
true. Because I started as a journalist and I interviewed you
Yes.
guys, I interviewed you. We also basically came to the show to Boys Night Out in Manila a few
Hmm.
times, I think at least 3 times.
Hmm.
Um, my magazines before, like Bounce Magazine, 100 Magazine,
Yes, yes, correct.
um, right? And then, of course, Viber. I worked at
Yon.
Viber after I think we actively worked together through Viber. So,
Correct, correct.
and
So
then
are you?
after that, focus on my agency, marketing agency business
Mhm.
with my friends. And then that's it. That's how it evolved, and now I'm here. Uh, Next time, please let me know when you're here. That would be it would be great
Oh,
to see you here,
let,
right?
let me just sort out this camera situation. But go ahead, I can
Go
hear
ahead,
you
no
loud and clear,
problem.
and I can, of course, listen to what you're saying. But yeah, had I known you were there, like I said, I was just also in Madrid a few months ago. Tapos I was with my wife. It was
Oh,
my our honeymoon, and then she was
oh, nice.
super excited to be there. I'm a big fan of Madrid personally, kasi ang sarap ng pagkain dyan, grabe.
Yes, food is amazing,
Sobrang
and
sarap ng pagkain. Sige, alam ko na. Let me
yes.
just switch up to another camera here. Sorry about the technical
No worries, no
difficulties.
worries.
Okay.
While you're doing that, of course, I'm gonna say hi right now. It's quite early here. We have
Oh, what time is it
our
there nga ba?
community. Well, it's 10:30, but people are at work, of course, right
Mm-hmm.
now. We have community members who are mostly business owners, employees from, I would say, different walks of life, from different backgrounds. We have
Mm-hmm.
Filipinos living abroad. We have Spanish Europeans who are part of
Kompleto ah.
our community.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we are international, Sam. So we have
I know.
um, people. Of course, everyone know. Probably everyone I work with closely know that our team were originally from the Philippines, but now,
Uh-huh.
of course, we're sharing. We're opening our community to different countries,
Markets.
starting here in Spain, and of course, countries in Europe. And then we're also organizing events in Canada as well.
Oh,
So very
wow.
exciting.
Okay. Good stuff. Good
Yes,
stuff.
mostly entrepreneurs who want to learn. That's the origin of this of Nomads Media actually, because our platform Video Gaga, we provide training, courses, and
Mm-hmm.
services in marketing um, in
Okay.
different languages.
Oh,
In
wow. Okay.
English, we also have in Tagalog, and then we also have in Spanish.
That's
So
nice.
that's how we're building the community. And then from
Parang all
there,
around ah.
we, you good?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, wala na naman. Okay, I'll just use my, eto na talaga. I'll just use my, my laptop camera because I have,
Go ahead, go
for those who
ahead.
don't know, alam mo na, we're doing this on the fly. I have my nice camera, but it seems to be conking out right now. So I'll stick to my laptop
Ah,
camera. Yeah, para hindi nagko-conk out.
it happened to me as well the other day,
Mm.
so I'm sticking to the laptop for now.
Oh, I
Um,
bought this. You know what?
right?
During the pandemic, where you start to invest in all these gadgets, like
Gadgets,
everybody was
exactly.
work from home. No, no, seriously, work from home. Like you did mention, Boys Night Out. We were part of that radio show, no? So, we all got COVID at the same time, which meant that we had to do our show via Zoom at that time, no, from home. So inevitably, to maintain at least the integrity of the material of to be aired on radio, we all had to buy our own microphones, had to buy, of course, our
Yeah,
HD cameras, had to buy a lighting system. So now I think each one of us already have we have a studio at home, quote unquote, no, so to speak, a simple setup that actually
exactly.
allows us to
Yes.
broadcast either the radio show, a podcast, or whatnot. So I haven't actually used this camera in quite a while since we had to go back to the station already, diba? But at that
Wow.
time, it was I guess we're getting into the topic as well, no? Kasi at that time it was also an
Yes.
evolution of hosting for me.
Yes. Exactly.
I never thought that events would still push through. Kasi aminin natin, no, the pandemic, it was a big pause for everyone, no? And for somebody in the freelance world like me, I guess it was a bit more scarier, so to speak. Kasi ano kami,
Mhm.
'di ba? By event, we're paid by event. So no
Yes.
work, ibig sabihin no pay kasi no events. And
Yeah.
when they said, okay, what's happening during the lockdown? First thing that will stop would be mass gatherings. Eh yun yung ano ko line of business ko eh.
Yeah.
Mass gatherings
As your
technically, di ba? So, ibig sabihin, okay, you have to stop and wait till the situation normalizes, which nobody knew, when it would actually happen. So little did I know that events also started, happening left and right online.
True.
And so
Yes,
here I was, like
exactly.
hosting Christmas parties, hosting, corporate events, awards nights from my home, from the house.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We've seen
Oh,
that happening, right?
yeah, and you had like 4,000 people on a single, either a
Wow.
Facebook live broadcast or some Zoom meeting, diba,
Yeah.
that everybody was watching. So, I'm so thankful that things are back to the way they were now. I think medyo ano nga, sumobra nga eh. Medyo naging revenge events na nga eh. Especially last year, like
Yes.
everybody was just like having events left and
Yeah.
right,
Revenge events. And now,
right?
actually, the conversation. Good thing you mentioned that because the conversation right now. Of course, we talk to other brands
Mhm.
about it, and the conversation is, of course, people are going back to physical activities.
Yes,
So
yes.
apart from your usual online um, activities, online events, online
Mhm.
sessions, it's very important to also start organizing physical activities with your clients, your customers, your community.
Correct. As a matter of
So, and
fact,
of course, like what
wala
you
na
said,
nga
revenge events left and
Oo.
right.
Wala na masyado nag-online. These days, it's really back to regular programming. It's back to events, to seeing each other, to interacting with each other, which of course we all still love. Kasi iba pa rin yung, that's human interaction, eh, di ba? If
Yes.
the person's right in front of you,
Mhm.
that interaction you get is still gonna be totally different from something online. But nonetheless, I'm just making that cuento um,
Mhm.
uh, to get to the point that you know, I think in this day and age, it's all about evolution. You
Yeah.
know, no matter what happens, no matter who you are, what industry you're in, where you are at, it's up to you to find a way to keep up with the times, to keep up with the situation, to keep up with challenges that would come
Yes.
along with your industry, with this, with the, with the situation at hand, with a pandemic, so to speak, diba? I mean, here we are, like enjoying technology uh, at its
True.
best, and I guess we were blessed, no? Especially, hindi na ako mag-age reveal, no? Sa ating dalawa.
Yeah.
Pero
So it's
we are,
revealed
we
today.
are we are blessed to be caught in that generation where we saw the transition from analog to digital really
Yes.
happen.
Wow.
'Di ba? We
Yeah.
naabutan pa natin like BS aside, naabutan pa natin yung landline. Remember?
Yeah.
Naabutan pa
Landline.
natin yung pagers. 'Di ba? Who would have thought
Yeah.
that at that time, oh
Pagers.
my God, you have a pager, you're so cool, 'di ba? You were able to send a
Yes.
text message. That is so
Text
cool. That kasi
message.
oh, that you have to call. That's the only, you have a cell
Yeah.
phone, but to reach the person, tatawag ka.
Of
Diba?
course. Of
And they came up
course.
with the pagers, diba? And we were like, oh my
Yeah.
God, that's so amazing. You call an operator, you leave two lines, and then the operator will actually, diba, deliver just the two lines on your little, pager that you put by your belt or whatever. And then came the era of fax machines. Remember that? Where emails weren't really a
Yeah.
thing at that
Before
time.
the internet. Yeah. Fax
Mm.
machine. And now, like
Diba?
what you
You'd call
said.
a person, tatawagan pa, hello, fax tone please. Yung sasabihin mo pa yun eh, di ba?
Yes.
Bago ka makapag-send kasi bababa niya ulit yung phone, tapos sabihin niya, oh, sige, tawag ka ulit because ito na yung fax tone ko.
And like what you said, we're very lucky right now. It's basically you can do it yourself, right? You can broadcast
Mm,
your own
mm,
show. You can like what you did, what you guys did, built your own home studio for your
mhm.
show, for your podcast, and of course you also have your own podcast that you
Mm.
can do from the comforts of your own home. So we're so
True.
lucky, very
Yeah.
lucky.
And now it's just, I think I don't want to get into chat GPT and all that stuff, but we're entering into the AI phase and
There,
everything. Some
that's
say
it.
it's good, some say it's bad. I personally haven't really got my feet wet, all too wet in the AI world, but
Mhm.
I think it's gonna be another revolutionary thing for us human beings.
Yeah,
Diba?
definitely. It's a baby right now that's growing. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of business owners, managers are maximizing it right now by creating, well, actually getting some I would say, head start when it comes to content,
Of course.
right?
Of course.
Copywriting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's and of course images as well, images, videos. It's happening
Mm-hmm.
as well for AI. But let's go ahead. I'd like to know. Let's go ahead and start talking
Oh,
about
go, go.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, of course, you're known more as a host, right? Radio host, a radio jockey. Was being a host your plan from the very beginning? How, was it your dream?
To be very honest, I actually people always ask me that. How did I ended up
Mm,
where I am? It was
yes.
never part of the plan. I always wanted to be a lawyer. That was the goal. No. Oh, so I took up legal management when I was in college.
Mhm.
Just because in high school pa lang, I said, shucks, I want to be a lawyer when I grow up. So I took
Yeah.
up, like I said, legal management, graduated that course. It was in third year college when I got a job offer to be a junior jock on Magic
Yes.
89.9. As a junior jock, you're not really paid. But
Hmm.
they train you how to
Yeah.
talk. They train you how to read school events.
Yeah.
And so that's
Yeah.
what I did. I used to train with Magic 89.9. Then eventually I kind of had I developed the liking for talking, for radio, which eventually led to 99.5, another radio station,
Hmm. Yeah.
saying, do you want to work for us? As in, may bayad na. You're going to get paid to
Yes.
work. I said, you know what? Why not? I was in third year college. They gave me such a crazy shift. It was midnight, 3 in the morning, Monday to Saturdays. So here I was, a third year college student, still studying, but doing my midnight to 3 in the morning shift practically every day. And at first, I was just like, I was making 8,500 pesos at that
Hmm.
time per month. Oh, so I said, you know what? I like what I do. Medyo there was a cool factor to being a DJ. People call
Yes.
in, request for their songs. Sabi ko, sige nga, let me give this a shot. So I was doing that. And then eventually, I developed the like and the love for speaking, for making people laugh, ganon. Parang there was
Yeah.
this fulfillment that I got whenever
Yes.
I get messages now. Oh, you know what? You just made my day. I was having a bad day. I was stuck in traffic, had a bad day in school, at work, but listening to you just made me, really happy. And I think that's where I drew the or that passion for
Passion.
really, yeah, really hosting
Yeah.
and developing the craft for it.
Yeah. So what about public speaking? All right, because hosting really needs requires, right, some
Hmm.
skills
Hmm.
when it comes to public speaking.
Hmm.
Did you have it already before? Because of course, a lot of people out there they want to start it out. But did you have it from the very beginning, or did you also hone your, I would say, engagement skills and public speaking skills?
I think that's the difference between being just a public speaker and a host. I think being a host is an art in itself.
Mm.
That's an art form that you will have to constantly develop. You will have to constantly learn. Um, I mean, I'm gonna talk about the some of the people I looked up to, no, through the
Yes.
years. I'm not sure if you remember Ryan Seacrest about the American Idol.
Yes. Yes. Ryan
Of
Seacrest.
course, yes, the guy had a script, but it's what you do when the script is not there that
Mm.
makes you a good host. Because anybody can read a script, anybody can speak in public if you have a script in front of you. Now,
Yes.
hosting is where you add your flavor to that script. It's where you add your own art, your own,
Mhm.
um, uh, charisma or whatnot to what is given to you. So I think that's where you draw the line between hosting and just public speaking or reading a script, which I think probably a lot of people can do. Of course, a lot of people can get that stage fright when you're in front of like thousands of people. Medyo,
Mm.
oh my God, what am I gonna do? You freeze up for a second. That I think you'd overcome eventually if you're, always placed in that certain
Yeah.
situation. Also, I think what radio gave me that was very effective and helpful to me, going on to TV, going on to events, would be to think on your toes.
Mhm.
No, kasi on
Mhm.
radio, bawal ang dead air.
Yeah.
No? dead air is a no-no. So you
Yeah.
always have to think about something. You always have to have
Yeah.
some story backed up
Oh,
at the back of your
right.
head. Yeah, you have to be really sharp. Dead
Mhm.
air is a big no-no. So that's one of the best trainings I think anybody can get when it comes to public
True.
speaking, and those
True.
who actually want to get into hosting.
Yeah. When I was a kid listening to DJs on the radio, I was like, how do they do it? Imagine like
Right, right.
nonstop
Oh.
talking, and you gotta think of a, I guess a topic or like a
Hmm.
random
Hmm.
topic when there's a potential for dead air.
Yeah,
And I
and
realized,
a lot of people also,
hmm,
that's the moment when your brain freezes.
yeah,
When something goes wrong, normally
yeah,
you freeze along with the situation.
yeah, that's right, that's right.
So it's actually the counter theory of freezing when things go wrong. It's actually, when things go wrong, that's when you have to put in your ad libs. That's when you have to, be a
Yeah,
host, so to
be a
speak.
host. Yeah, that's when you have to be a host. And yeah, and then I
Hmm.
realized, of course, while doing media work, we did a TV show as well before. I got some training. I realized that actually it involves experience. You really have to get through those things, learn,
Hmm.
and basically apply what you've learned in your new
Hmm.
project, right? In your new events, etc. Like what you
Hmm.
said, training on radio um, is key, right, to your hosting career as well. But what would be the difference now between hosting a radio show? Of course, you are a TV host as well, and
Hmm.
an events host. What differences
I'd
do you have?
I'll rank it first kung ano pinakamadali, no? The
Okay.
easiest to the
Okay.
hardest, so to speak. I'd actually put TV as the easiest,
Okay.
no?
Interesting.
Next would be events. The third would be radio. Pa rin. Radio would
Okay.
be the hardest. That's why I say it would still be the best training grounds for anybody who wants to be, a great host. Just because you are live for a long time. Live.
Yes.
Now, why do I say that TV would be the easiest? It's because the TV, you can always go for a take two. All right, you're unless you're hosting a live show, whatever, which hardly happens on TV. You can always, do it again. You say something wrong, you fumble, you can do it again. You can ask for a take two. During a live event, probably you can pause or you can, direct people to a certain video. You can, there are a bunch of things you can do. Play music, but on radio, it's like a do or die situation.
Yes. Yes.
Either
Mm.
you have your comeback, you
Yeah.
speak, you have something na nakabaon, or it's gonna eat you alive.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna eat you
No?
alive.
Oh, so that's the difference. I mean, TV, of course, is hard.
Yeah.
I'm not saying TV is easy. No, I'm just saying in my ranking, that's how I would rank it. But TV is, of course,
Yes.
difficult because there comes the additional factor of you looking good, looking presentable all the time, finding your
Hmm.
angle, finding the camera. Live events would also have its challenges. Since it is a live event that you're hosting,
Hmm.
you always have the AVP not playing.
Yes.
You have
Technical
the
issues.
speed technical difficulties always happen just because it is live. So live would always be very very challenging because that would put your skills to the test.
Interesting. Very interesting. Now
Uh,
let's talk about comedy
mhm.
because you're known for being a funny guy. You're adding always your own flavor to the show because of your humor. What can you say is your brand of comedy? And have you always been funny? When did you realize this? That hey, I can be funny on my shows, etc.
Actually, I was a bullied kid in elementary. No. It
Yeah.
wasn't easy growing up to be Indian in the Philippines because they always, teach you Bombay, 5'6", all these things.
Yes.
I think it's when I was in high school that I actually started making Bombay or Indian jokes. No. So I
Mm,
thought to myself, nah, okay, why don't I use something that people always, make fun of? Why don't I use it to my advantage
Yes,
and just
yes.
make it a joke? So that's where it all started. That's where I probably was able to build that brand of humor. Now, I do the Indian jokes and whatnot. And when it started working for me, then it became a challenge of evolving, where to go from there, what is
Mm-hmm.
next, diba?
Mm-hmm.
And also that's where doing your homework, doing your research comes in. You can't just be complacent na, okay, funny ako ngayon. Kasi what was funny 10 years ago might not be funny now. Might be a bit
Exactly.
tricky. Jokes that we used to do on Voice Night Out 10 years ago would probably would cost us our jobs today. Honestly, even the TV show Friends, we all loved Friends, but now people
Yes,
have something against Friends because parang oh hindi na, that's not funny. That's not a that joke is inappropriate. It's inappropriate. But at that time, that joke was funny to me.
it was. Yeah, yeah. Of course, we
So
evolve as a
rules,
society as well, right?
yeah,
We
correct.
evolve.
Not saying that it's right, it's wrong. I'm not gonna get into that, but it's just I always think of it. If there's an analogy that I would use, it's like playing basketball or playing a sport or getting into a
Yes.
sport. Every year
Yeah,
they're probably gonna add rules, diba? Ngayon,
exactly.
if you're really good at what you do, you're really a good basketball player, even if they add a new rule, you're not gonna say, I don't want to play anymore because there are too many rules. You're gonna find a way to be good at what you do, despite new rules, despite new challenges. And this is what I think would be one of the hardest thing about comedy. It's staying relevant, staying on point, which includes doing your homework, being up to speed with what's happening in the world, what's happening in your with news, diba? Like which celebrities break up or whatnot. What do you
Yeah,
find funny today? What happened? You have to keep yourself in the know so that you could still be relevant. Because once you just you know think of yourself, oh okay, na I'm the shit. I'm a funny person.
yes.
Till when?
Reinvent.
Reinvention is the hardest thing that artists have to go through. Not just comedians, not just hosts. I'm talking about artists, even
Yes,
celebrities. I'm sure we could name 10 celebrities right now that shot up, super bilis, had great careers, but after like 3 years, where are they now? Because
yes.
reinvention
You
is the
really,
hardest thing, especially for artists.
yeah. Artists,
Mhm.
entertainers, and of course, even
Yes,
businesses, right? Even
of course.
brands. They always, I mean, every year we come up with campaigns, and that's the reason why
Yes.
we need them because we need to reinvent.
Not because you're the top fast food chain today, you are going to be
Mm,
the top fast food chain in 5 years. Nothing is
mhm.
guaranteed, Not because you're the number one selling beer today, you're going to be the number one selling beer in 5 years. If you don't reinvent, you don't, keep pushing, keep, people on their toes, maluluma ka. And that's how the game is. That's how the world is. You want to stay on
Yeah,
top, you do your homework. Even with technology, you have the companies like Apple, Microsoft, Google.
yeah,
Diba? Who would have thought at one point, we had the, I'm not sure if you remember Friendster, diba? Everybody's like, oh my God, this is so
yes,
amazing.
of course.
Friendster. Let me drop you a testimonial. You tell all your friends, patesti naman, patesti naman. And then here comes Facebook, and we're all blown away. We're like, "Oh my God, what is this thing? Facebook is,
Yeah,
is effing amazing. It's mind blowing, connecting you to your family members that you haven't met in your lifetime, posting all these photos, and then here comes Twitter, and then here comes Instagram, and now we are entering the era of TikTok. It's
exactly.
just when you thought you've seen it all. Until when is it gonna be the hottest
Wow,
thing?
exactly. Because before it was all about vlogging and stuff, YouTube and Facebook, and now
Short
short
content.
form short form videos is very it's a new animal, right? Different animal, definitely,
Mhm.
which we will
Like,
talk
give me what I
about
need.
in a bit.
Right.
By the
I
way,
mean, you have a 20-minute YouTube video, but I'm a person that only has a minute and a half. So give me what I need to know.
yeah,
Compress that 20-minute YouTube video into a minute and a half because that's all the time I'm giving you.
yeah, super, super. It's so interesting. Before we get to social media, Let's wrap up the hosting. Now, we talked about comedy and you talked about ad libbing or being spontaneous on your shows when needed. How would you define now your personal style or brand of hosting?
I think when you hire me, or when you get me, when people get me for their company events, their TV shows, their radio shows, podcasts, or even for weddings and whatnot, they are expecting uh, a fine line between still being formal, but being able to break an event or a show down into uh, a barcada, or how do you say this? A level where friends are just hanging out.
Yes.
And I think that's the style, or that's what I can bring to the table. If you're to ask me, we could go all the way formal, super formal, and awards night, tuxedos and stuff, but I'd still punch in my lines to make something, something so probably hyper formal into something a bit relaxed, make everybody feel at home, because that's my objective all the time. No matter how stiff something or event or show is, I will make sure that I bring my flavor in, and you will feel relaxed attending that event or watching that show.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. We're showing actually your Instagram page,
Hmm.
some clips from your hosting, and yeah, it's interesting.
Ayan.
And of course, you're known as one of the trios or one of the guys from the popular show Boys Night Out on Magic.
Hmm.
Um, After Magic, what's keeping you busy right now?
Well, I left Boys Night Out November of last year.
Yes.
No, so it was just because I always it was getting a bit, the schedules were becoming too tight for me.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing a lot of hosting gigs, and me and my wife were planning to put up a business this year.
All right.
So I was thinking, uh, I was so busy, and I also I had this, this moment during the pandemic that I was doing a lot of reflection, like most of us. No? We were forced to reflect. I think 80% of us, if you're
Yes.
not the type to reflect during the pandemic, you had nothing else to do but to reflect. Like, where do you
Yeah.
want to take your life? What really matters to you? Stuff like that. And here I am realizing that just because you're busy, just because you're doing a lot of things, does not mean you're successful.
Mm-hmm.
No, just because you're running from one event to another, probably have 10 shows running at the same time, does not
Mm-hmm.
make you successful. It's actually, for me, I think the other way around. If you can afford your time, that is success. That is quote unquote winning in life. So here I am, thinking that I wanted to do more things. I want to start up a business, but how can I do that when I'm so busy?
Mm-hmm.
Every minute of the day, something's happening. So I had to take a step back, look at what I'm dealing with, what I had on my plate, and I thought to
Mm-hmm.
myself, okay, if I really want to start up a business, something has got to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in order to grow, there has to be space for growth. You can always have a
Yeah.
vision, you can always want to grow, but without that space for you to actually grow, how are you going to grow? And um, of course, it was 17 years of me being part of the radio show, but I kind of felt that I already gave it my all. Um, I did what I could for the radio scene in the Philippines, and it's time to move on to bigger things. And for me to do bigger things, to be more effective at bigger things, I had to let something go. And that's when I decided, okay, maybe it's time to pack up my radio stint to focus on bigger things.
Yeah. So we'll expect something exciting from you and your wife in the
Hopefully,
near
working on
future.
it, working on it.
Wow. Quite excited to find out about that in the near future.
Secret muna.
Um, Secret muna. Yeah. Secret muna. Let's
Mhm.
keep it a secret for now. For now. But yeah,
For now, but I'm
quite
sure you guys will
exciting.
find out when we
Yeah,
launch whatever we have in mind.
quite exciting. And now people who want to for people who want to start in hosting on radio or being an entertainer, um, how should they start? This career. Where should they start?
Um, you know what? I actually say this to a lot of people that I touched on it earlier. Now, we're actually living in a very exciting time where before it was to have your break, to catch your break, you have to be signed up with a TV network, a radio station, you have to be on print, diba?
Mhm.
Now anybody can put up their YouTube channel, anybody can be on social media, you have Instagram, you have TikTok
True.
as mentioned. There are so as a matter of fact, I think we are living in a world where we have how would I put this? We have media overload, a surplus of
Yeah,
media
yeah,
that I mean, how do you catch up with your Facebook account, your Instagram account, your TikTok account, your Twitter account, your X account, whatever, threads, all in one day? We have
yeah,
so much media on hand that we don't even know what to do with it. We don't even know which to go first, which we prioritize first, how to compartmentalize. Okay, I'm gonna do TikTok for my entertainment. I use Facebook for my family. Where do we really stand with all these things? Now going back to your question, for people who want to start catching your break these days, I'd say I'm not saying it's easy, but it's a lot easier because anybody can just put out material there, and if you hit it, you hit it. But once again, going back to what we discussed earlier, you can hit it once, or you can get your break. Now it's about sustainability, about reinvention, and that's the trickier part.
yeah.
Because a lot of people will, of course, hit it big once, hit it big twice. Pero being in the game takes a lot of reinvention. And that's the hard part.
Well said, well said. Yeah, makes so much sense because, okay, if I'm budding or aspiring host right now or entertainer, I can create I'm sure I have already my own channel, put
Correct,
up my
correct.
content
Yeah.
out there, try to build your community, your following,
Hmm.
but it's how you sustain it. And probably also outside of social media, how do you collaborate or network, right, through that
Hmm.
through your social media project? I think
I'm sure
because
you could have one video that goes viral, but your next video nobody watches, or
yeah,
you only have like 400 views. You have a video that's so funny or so great, that hits like 5 million views, and then the next video is down to like 500, and here you
yeah,
are caught in, like, in this whole confusing state. Now shit, what happened there? 1 minute I had 5 million, the next minute I'm down to 1,000. But
yeah, yeah,
sometimes it
yeah.
does not equate. So like I'm saying it's really churning out quality content, quality entertainment one after another that gets challenging.
Yeah, yeah. Well said, well said. Now, what about for entrepreneurs and managers and employees who want to improve their speaking skills? Where should they start as well?
I think when it comes to managers, and people in the corporate world, there are a lot of companies that help develop these uh, these skills, for their employees. Uh, During our time, I remember there was John Robert Powers.
Yeah,
Right now, you have the likes of Train Station. A lot of these companies really train employees to speak better, to have that self confidence. So let's admit it. If you speak well, diba, your confidence also improves,
yeah, it's
which
true.
is a life skill. It's not just a corporate skill. It's not just a skill, whether you're a waiter, whether you're, a CEO, or whatever you're doing in life. If you speak well, it already creates that initial impact, or initial, what's this idea that, oh, this person is confident, speaks well. No matter how
Yeah.
you look, no matter who you are, no matter what you do. Diba? So now it's really investing in yourself, investing in your people that it boils down to.
Yeah. Yeah. Well
Imagine,
said.
wait, diba tayo? Oh, let's not go around the bush. Sometimes we go to Starbucks because the barista speaks so well. The barista knows how to handle your drink. They know
Yeah.
what to get from you, how to do their PR, diba? Oh, Sir
Yeah.
Carlo, welcome back. Are you having your same
Yeah.
iced caramel latte with two pumps of yada yada yada? And here you are. Oh man, that's my man. That's my man. And just because he spoke so well, he was able to carry out himself so well, he made you feel special for that moment. Diba? And imagine everybody or all your employees, and thus we have the Starbucks theory. Thus, imagine all your employees creating that experience for every customer you have.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
Yeah. Yeah.
every customer go back to you over and over, to your restaurant, to your shop, to your printing press, whatever that
Yeah.
is, because okay sila. These guys are good.
Yeah. You're very personable and pleasing. Your speaking is
Mhm.
very
Yeah.
pleasing. Yeah, it's very
Hmm.
important. Yeah, it makes a
Hmm.
lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Um, of course, you also dabble in business. You're I would say being a host is also a business.
Correct,
But you
correct.
also dabble in this. How do you now manage your time? You probably, I know you told me you have businesses on the side as well.
Hmm. Well, that's what I was talking about earlier on. No, I think I've reached a point in my life where, of course, busy is busy. We're all busy. Whatever industry you're in, whatever work you do, there are days that are going to be busier than the others. But I think at this point, managing my time would also mean, following that chart now. What's important, what's urgent, what's not important, what's not urgent. I always kind of divide my tasks like that into four sections. No, is it
Mhm.
important and urgent? Is it just important but not urgent? Diba?
Yeah.
Let's say, oh, yung passport mo, kunyari lang, your passport expired. You know it's important, but I'm not traveling anytime soon, so it's
Yeah.
not urgent. But it's important, no? Now,
Yeah.
I'm traveling next month. Now the passport issue becomes important and urgent. So you
Yeah.
got to put that there. Now, when it comes to businesses, of course, you have to give every business that parang mga anak yan eh, diba? You have to give, these are like your kids. You have to give them all that certain time of day
Yes.
if you really want all of them to grow properly. You can't, of course, at one point, hopefully everybody gets to that point that your business runs on its own like a well-oiled machine. That's the ultimate goal. But before that happens, you got to look at every one of them and say, how can I improve this? Where am I in this aspect or in this business? No, it's like looking at your life. Where am I in my health aspect? Where am I in my mental health aspect? Diba? Where am
Mm.
I in my relationship aspect? Every part of your life matters for something, and you create that complete balance for your total well-being. Same with the business, diba? You look at them,
Yeah.
either you divide them per day, like let's say Monday would be my restaurant day, Tuesday would be my hosting day, Wednesday would be my email day to reply to certain thing. So I think it's really a matter of not just time management but also energy management. Kasi
Energy. Yeah.
hindi ka pwede maubos ng isa. You can't drain yourself with one business so
Yeah.
much that that everything will crumble down.
Yeah. 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 Very, very helpful indeed. Um, we mentioned earlier your brand of hosting, but that also affected or helped uh, build your personal brand through the
Mhm.
years. What about for people who wanna people, not just people, but also businesses who wanna build their brand? Um, where should they look into?
It would really depend on what kind of business you have, to build that particular brand. Like, who would have known social media would be such a driving force now when it comes to advertising. Diba?
Mhm.
Gone are the
Yeah.
days where, of course, billboards are still there, your newspapers are still there, magazines are still there. But now let's admit it, diba? We are influenced by what we see on social media. We are heavily influenced by that. And even companies have recognized that to the point that they've really set aside a lot of their budgets every year
Yeah.
to marketing on social media. Is it going to be like that in the next 10 years? We do not know. It's
Hmm.
constantly evolving, diba?
Interesting. Yeah.
But yeah, to grow your business, it really also takes time. Marketing takes time. Marketing takes constant learning, constant understanding. Okay, what's new? TikTok is new. Should we get into that? How do we get into it? How do we make it interesting? It's not just about getting into it. It's how do you make it interesting? How do you make it consumable for your audience, for your clients, your customers? That's the tricky
Yeah.
part. Because anybody
Right.
can post a picture, anybody can post a billboard, diba? But is that really engaging? I think
Yeah.
now people are also pretty smart that they know if you're selling them something.
Hmm. Yeah.
Diba? So now it's
Yeah.
how you sell it. It's not just what you're selling, it's how you sell it.
It's how you sell
How
it.
will I how will that housing project be attractive to me?
Yeah.
Diba? Are you
True.
targeting me? Are you gonna say that the amenities is perfect for somebody starting up a family? Is it somebody for people who are with big families already? All these things matter.
Yeah. True. Because they need to uh, be able to relate, right?
Communicate
To
that
you,
properly and hit the
right?
audience.
If they cannot relate to you, then that's it.
Correct. You'll just scroll through that ad or whatever.
Yeah. And of course, from being radio host, TV host, events, you're also a social media personality on Twitter, especially on Instagram, and of course TikTok. You mentioned it. Being active on social media is important right now. Who is Sam YG on social media?
I think on social media I try to be as true as I can to my lifestyle. No. So you got me. If you look through my page, you got the Sam YG host, you got the Sam YG husband, you have the Sam YG car lover, bike lover, uh, person who loves sports. I try to inject different parts of my life into my social media account just so everybody gets a more rounded picture of the things I love to do, the things that I'm into, which also helps naman no to for them to get a better understanding of who I am, the brand that I can bring to the table, so to speak. When I post about something that's work related, I have my podcast there, as you can see. I have these
Yeah.
posts with my wife. I even there's that Jokoy commentary over there that people are also asking for my opinion, like what do I think
Mhm.
about Jokoy's hosting.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I try to of course, you'd see my funny skits every so often. I'm not going to take that out. But you also have these little chunks of reality of me being
Yes.
me. There's our
Yes.
dogs, Chili.
Yeah. And of course, especially since you started collaborating with your wife, that's when,
Yes,
um, it added flavor also to your social media accounts, right? To
correct,
your content.
correct. Because that also brings in, like I said, it's a new, it's not a challenge, but it's a new flavor, like you mentioned, to the content. Now, how can we incorporate who we are into what we do?
True, true.
So we have the
And
travel.
Essa is also quite natural when it comes to humor, and people can really see your compatibility on screen.
Hopefully, or incompatibility. Actually, other people say because
Incompatibility, yeah.
she's very corporate. No, she works in the corporate world, so he's very masungit sometimes, and I'm here the whole kenkoy guy, so the whole
Yeah,
offset of things, so to speak, creates that
yeah,
the
yeah.
tension. The tension becomes entertaining sometimes. There we go.
Oh. And That's where it works, right? That's
Yes, and
actually what works. How do you plan? I mean, you mentioned it already, but now how do you manage your content? Um, do you have your own content plan, or do you always align it with your current activities?
I think it's a bit of both. Like I make sure I balance everything out. Of course, you have your posts um, that companies would require you to do, and you want to mix that up with your personal posts, like things that you're really into, just so that your page does not look like a walking billboard, like an online billboard. So
Mhm.
it's a matter of balancing. I think there's a beauty in balancing everything out. You know,
That's a really good
if you
point.
are, yeah, if you are going to be communicating or trying to, influence people to purchase a certain item or go with a certain brand, I think that's always good to mix it up with being true to who you are. Like I said, consumers are very smart these days. They know if it's a paid ad. People are not
Yeah.
stupid. Alam naman nila yan eh, diba?
Yeah.
So now, how do you
True.
effectively communicate that um,
Exactly. Yeah.
with
And
your
what added
feeders? So
value,
also,
right,
correct,
can
correct.
you give people?
Right, and also as for the page or the whatever your accounts are in general, it's really about balancing everything out. The business side with the personal side. Because if also you just keep on posting all these ads and whatnot, the parang why am I even following you if you're just trying to
Yeah,
sell me something every day?
true, true. And that's the reason why it's called content, right? You need to
Yes, yes.
give them
It's not a
some
billboard, right?
content about you.
Even the term fun entertainment is now
Yeah,
starting to prevail because it has to be fun, but I have to take away from what you're saying.
true. Fun entertainment. That's interesting because
Mm-hmm.
before when TikTok started to get bigger, when it was already yeah, fast
On the
rising,
rise, yeah.
people are like, "Hey, are we gonna dance now?" Those
Correct,
things.
correct. That's what
It's
it
a
was
common
before.
comment, right?
Mm-hmm.
But of course, people say, "Why not?" Of course, why not? And but there are also a
Right.
lot of trends on TikTok that you can use, and not just dancing.
Correct. Now, I mean, it used to be all dancing. Even I myself said, oh, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna get into TikTok because I'm not gonna be dancing. But here I am, studying TikTok because now it's
Yeah,
all about. Even I'm scrolling on TikTok. I was in Japan just a few weeks ago, and I believe it or not, I use TikTok as my Google. I just type
yeah,
in top places to eat in Tokyo, and you have all these great reviews, quick 1 minuters, and I am finding myself going to these restaurants that I saw on TikTok, which I used to use Google for. Diba? Google
yeah,
dati, top 10 restaurants in Tokyo. That's what I used to do. And now here I
yeah.
am, searching on TikTok instead. And that's fun
True, true.
entertainment. It's fun and it's entertaining. Gets the job done in a minute.
Yeah, it's quite exciting. TikTok, because of
Hmm.
course we're all learning, right? Short
Yeah, yeah,
form
we are
video.
still learning. Oh,
We're all learning, and we don't know where it's taking us, but it actually
hmm,
helps try different ideas out and see what works.
definitely.
What else would be your tips for people who want to grow their social media presence? Since you've gone through that as well, growing your own social media, and what other factors can help them grow
I
their
think
social?
it's one thing that I would suggest would be find your niche. Try to find your avenue, what works for you. Um, it, being being entertaining doesn't always have to be funny. You don't have to be funny to be entertaining. You can find other ways to be funny, diba?
Mhm.
You could actually take inspiration from a lot of other content creators do it very, very well, diba? Find your own path, find your own style of doing things instead of just copying off other influencers or whatnot. It's good to find your own avenue, build that avenue. And if it's not working, maybe pivot a bit. There's nothing wrong in pivoting. Pivot
Mhm.
a bit until you find that sweet spot. Kasi eventually, hahanap mo rin yan.
Yeah,
But it takes a lot of pivoting. It's like finding that right job or relationship, diba? Sometimes you have to go through the bad and then it becomes good.
that's true. That's true. And that's really the goal for a lot of people right now, right? Hitting it big on social media, and then
Correct. Yeah.
for brands to spend less on
Hmm.
ads, right? How? That's like the big question. But
That
it
is
really
correct.
helps. that really it really helps to experiment, to learn.
Hmm.
And then what you said, to really be genuine um, to your target audience, right? To define that group, that niche.
Hmm.
And of course, you're probably one of the most prominent Filipinos with Indian background um,
Oh, thank you, thank you.
in the Philippines. Of course, your family originally came from Jaipur. Is that right?
Um, Actually, my dad's from Punjab, my mom's from Delhi.
Okay,
Hmm.
they have to correct
Yeah, but
Wikipedia.
pure Indian. They're both pure Indian. Yeah,
So you'll have to correct the Wikipedia. Someone got it wrong.
I know, I know. I have to figure that out one of these
Punjabi,
days.
so yeah, pretty much from different parts of India.
Parts of
How has
India,
that
correct.
influenced you growing up in the Philippines? Um,
Well,
Having parents from different backgrounds in India.
well, as mentioned, initially, it was hard being Indian in the Philippines because I got bullied a lot. But I guess you also learn to love what's to love about a culture. Diba? And there's something that you can bring because you're Indian that not everybody else can bring. No. So in as much as Filipinos can bring so much to the table that only
Mm,
Filipinos can bring. So it's really about using it to your advantage, I think, at the end of the
that's
day.
that's true, and that's empowering, right?
Correct, correct,
Use that to your
definitely.
advantage. That's gonna take you to places, definitely.
Hmm.
Could you tell us more about, because not a lot of people are aware of
Hmm.
how big the community is, Indian community is in the Philippines. Tell us more about the community Indian community in the Philippines, and how significant it is, of course, to our society.
It's a pretty big community down here. I think not just here, everywhere in the world. Parang Indians are pretty much everywhere. Diba? Except before it used to be all about the financing side, about the 5-6. Now you got Indians who are, CEOs, leaders in
Of
marketing and
course.
whatnot. So it opened a whole new perspective on Indians compared to how it was just seen before. Uh, I think, well, the scene here is it's very business for a lot of Indians,
Hmm.
not too much of entertainment, but like, of course, I am doing the entertainment scene, pero most of the Indians here are really into businesses, either export, textiles. A lot of import export happens, with a lot of these Indian companies, which is really great, because I'm in touch with them as well. So a lot of ideas get thrown around here and there.
Yeah, so pretty big in business.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm. Correct, correct.
Whatever type of business it is. Of course, Indians are known before
Hmm.
the rise of technology or tech businesses happened. Indians are known to be small business owners who are thriving, right, in
Yes,
different parts of the
yes.
world. But
Hmm.
now, wow, with
They're all
technology,
over with world
startup
domination.
kings and queens,
Hmm.
definitely in the US, in Silicon Valley, you have executives in tech companies, um,
Correct.
and that's affecting definitely the global society. Now, being in Indian Filipino, where would you recommend people to go in India?
Oh,
Name
what do you
where
mean? Oh, in India. Okay.
to
If you're
travel.
gonna, okay, if you're gonna be visiting India, which I think you should, no, it's gonna open your eyes to so many things. No, I would recommend definitely Jaipur if you want to get the culture. Jaipur, Agra, and Delhi. Those three places would allow you to get a good grasp of India. If you have a bit more time, then hit up Bombay. But Bombay would be like the more New York,
More
modern
city.
India. But if you want to get the hardcore experience, the food, the taste of India, you gotta hit
Yeah,
up those three. A good itinerary would set you about 7-8 days, I think. Para hindi
yeah,
ka rin masyadong arag. You got to immerse yourself properly.
yeah, because it's bigger. It's bigger than
Oh, it's
any
very, very good.
other
I don't think you can
destination.
hit it. You can stay there for a month and
Yeah,
not be done with it. So, make sure you hit those three, get a good grasp of the culture
yeah. I've
to
been
start
to.
with.
I'd love to go back. I've only been to Delhi, Kolkata, and also the Northeast Indian part for work.
Hmm.
But
Sabi
yeah,
nga nila, when it comes to India, when you leave India, it's either gonna like it or you're not gonna like it. There's no middle ground.
yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah,
no. It's either you like it or you don't. It's either
yeah,
India is for you or it's not for you.
yeah. That's a good point.
Mhm.
How about Philippines? Your top destination?
Oh, Philippines easily Boracay. Still love Boracay.
Right.
I'm probably there a good 10 times a year.
Yeah,
Actually, this Sunday I'll be back there again.
yeah,
I think it. Yeah, yeah. But I think the dreamiest place for me, if Boracay is just like all around, no, just managing everything. But the dreamiest place for me would still be El Nido. I am
El Nido.
in love with El Nido.
Why?
Philippines, El Nido, it's mind blowing. It's just a sensory experience. It's such El Nido is just mind blowing.
Yeah,
Every time
the
I'm there, it's
islands,
just
the
stuff.
beaches.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everything in the purest
yeah.
form.
In the
El
purest
Nido.
form, nature.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But
well
all
said.
around would still be Boracay. But if you want like that
Yeah,
Philippines mind blowing stuff, El Nido, hands down.
nice. And of course, for our final question, what's next now for Sam? Since you cannot share yet your plans for the business, what should we look out for?
Well, I'm still gonna be hosting a lot of gigs. You're gonna see me there. For people who are watching this, different parts of the world. I am on social media. It's at underscore SamYG. I do post a lot of content, whether funny, serious, sometimes a lot of myself as well. So yeah, that's where I you can catch me and stuff that I do. And if ever I am gonna push through with the business, then it is gonna be there as well.
All right, I
So it's
posted
at
actually.
underscore SamYG on Instagram and on TikTok.
All right. So I actually shared that here in the comments.
Yon. Thank
Hopefully,
you, thank
you
you.
guys enjoy Sam's posts on his channel at underscore SamYG. Thanks a lot, Sam, for an awesome
Arlo,
afternoon,
thank you so much. Hope you
morning.
guys enjoyed, and I hope I was able to impart some
Yes.
interesting things somehow, some way.
Yeah, definitely. Even for me, when it comes to managing your business, building your brand, and of course the relevance of social media, very very helpful. Thanks a lot, Sam.
Thank
I
you.
hope you have a good
Thanks, Carlo.
weekend, and
Thank you.
it's been a
Same to
pleasure
you.
chatting with you here in Nomads Media.
Cheers, cheers, and I hope to see you soon, either in Madrid or down here in the Philippines.
Yes, looking forward to it. And thank you everyone on Nomads Media, and of course to our learners or students and participants on Video Gaga, our
Mhm.
fellow entrepreneurs, creators, and aspirants out there. We'll see you in our next session. See you,
Thank you,
everyone.
guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.